Hello guys, you have reached United Loyalty, so you are welcome and don't hesitate, make you subscribe, like and share for new hottest news on Manchester United. Let's jump straight to our news. Here are 8 lessons Michael Carrick has to learn from his failed Man United predecessors. Michael Carrick looks set to land the Manchester United job long term, and he can take plenty from the likes of Ruben Amorim, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Jose Mourinho, who have ultimately fallen short at Old Trafford. Michael Carrick as the permanent Manchester United manager is looking increasingly like a when, not if, scenario. A run of 10 wins in 15 games, launching the team into the Champions League places, is as good an audition any manager can put together. Carrick was a short-term fix who could well become the long-term solution in Manchester, and the early signs are promising. The former player turned coach has certainly made the most of his advantages, the biggest perhaps being a lack of games given United were out of every competition bar the league. But Carrick's record isn't one to be sniffed at, and the Old Trafford hierarchy are ready to give him his shot. Carrick played in Manchester during the trophy-laden years and was then part of the early struggles post-Sir Alex Ferguson. He was also an assistant during the later struggles, working alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer before his dismissal. If learning through watching is anything to go by, then the former United midfielder has had quite the education. Despite the lack of success at Old Trafford, there have been green shoots, even if that hope did quickly die off. Carrick is by no means the finished product as a manager. How could he be at 44? But he's clearly been learning from watching others fall short. You only need look at how he's taken the same group of players that Ruben Amorim had, put them in a different system, and reap the rewards. If he can look back to take this team forward, then there's some valuable lessons to be learned, for better and for worse. We cast our eye over the recent United managers to see what they got right, but also what led to their demise as Carrick bids to avoid a repeat of his own. This, what Ruben Amorim, the Portuguese boss, will go down as, statistically, one of the worst men to occupy the home dugout in modern times. Some of his results set unwanted records, be that his 15th place finish last season or losing 5 times in a single month, as he did in December 2024. But given all that, you get the impression he got a much easier ride than some of his predecessors. Ruben Amorim was engaging and charismatic in press conferences, even when results were poor. View 4 images. Ruben Amorim was engaging and charismatic in press conferences, even when results were poor. Image Getty Images. That in part was likely owing to his charisma. Even when results were going against him, he remained a likable character. He was engaging in press conferences, spoke honestly, rarely deflected or ducked questions, and gave some top-tier sound bites. Always helps. Erik ten Hag. In truth, the Dutchman lasted several months longer in Manchester than he ought to. The reason largely being that he won the FA Cup in 2024, which saw United go from considering the sack to handing him a new deal. Previous to that, he won the Carabao Cup, ending a 6-year wait for a trophy. No matter the week-to-week results, picking up silverware buys time and gives the impression things are heading in the right direction, even when they aren't. Don't push for lottery transfers. Ten Hag made several big recruitment calls and got almost none of them right, and United are still feeling the impact of that now. The £80 million plus deal for Antony in his first summer will go down as one of the biggest flops in Premier League history. Questions need to be asked about that level of investment in a player from the Dutch league, which was unprecedented. Erik ten Hag pushed for a number of signings that never worked. Antony among them 12 months after that, Ten Hag decided David de Gea was surplus to requirements, and Andre Onana should be the answer, only to see the Cameroonian make numerous mistakes. He's since left the club. In need of a striker, the Dutchman went for Rasmus Højlund, accepting that he was one for the future, a development player if you will. That did little to help United in the present. The Dane took until Christmas to score his first league goals and now looks bound for the exit door. Please keep subscribing and liking for more massive news. As we are continuing to our greatest massive trends here is Carrick's first move at United. Michael Carrick has reportedly handed the board a list of 8 players he wants to sign if he becomes MUFC's permanent manager. Sandro Tonali, Aurelian Tchouameni, Elliot Anderson-Kvicha, Manchester United are prepared to offer Michael Carrick an initial 2-year deal as part of plans running through to 2028. Talks are now underway after co-owner Manchester United gave the green light following an executive meeting this week. In that meeting, CEO Omar Berrada and Football Director Jason Wilcox put forward Carrick as their recommended choice for the role. Michael Carrick is now in active discussions over a full-time appointment, with co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe having approved the proposal. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the future of Man United. Manchester United's future will depend on patience, identity and togetherness again. The club has always been at its best when young players are trusted, the fans feel connected to the team, and everyone fights for the badge. You cannot rebuild Manchester United overnight. But if the right structure is finally put in place, this team can compete again very quickly. I still believe Old Trafford can become a fortress again. There's talent in that dressing room, there are good young players coming through, and once confidence returns, Manchester United will always be dangerous. The next season could define the direction of the club for many years. Bruno Fernandes Season Awards, Checklist Writers Association, Footballer of the Year Manchester United, Player of the Year FIFA EMS, Ballon d'Or, ENS, PL Player of the Year, BBC Player of the Year, PL Playmaker of the Year, PL Fans Player of the Year, Sky Sports Player of the Year, PFA Players Player of the Year, Record Assist, Breaker of the Year. Official De Ligt has undergone a successful surgery for his back injury and is hoping to return to action at the start of next season after undergoing successful surgery on a long-standing back injury. I remain as determined as ever to represent Manchester United. A number of players have described Bruno Fernandes as the best in the league this season. Cole Palmer, Bernardo Silva, Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash, Tosin Adarabioyo. A number of players have described Bruno Fernandes as the best in the league this season. Cole Palmer, Bernardo Silva, Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash, Tosin Adarabioyo, Benjamin Sesko on a possible Mateus Fernandes and Ederson midfield next season, and the Anderson links. That is serious quality. And honestly, hearing those names linked to United excites me as a striker. Before I joined United, Arsenal also made inquiries for me. But for me, the decision was simple. As a player, you have to recognise the club that divinely connects with your spirit. And immediately, I felt that connection with Manchester United. That's why when United asked me my preference, I didn't hesitate. For me, playing for Manchester United was the dream. So with Anderson, honestly, I look at it differently. Even as a player myself, I wouldn't really want somebody whose first choice isn't United if that's truly the situation. Because this club needs players that genuinely want the badge. Now with Mateus and Ederson, that's a midfield that gives confidence to the whole attack. And as a striker, when you see serious quality behind you, you don't want to become the weak link in the team. You want to prove yourself too. I scored more than 10 league goals this season. Next season, my target is simple, nothing less than 20. So guys, thank you for watching. Please, for new trends,